What's up guys? In this video, I'm gonna show you how I look for the perfect Airbnb investment property to make me money. So I'm working with a client right now. We're gonna look at their property. We're gonna dive into all the numbers. I'm gonna show you the property itself. I'm just gonna show you my process. So if you're looking to buy an investment property for short-term rentals in mind, this video is for you. Okay, I'm currently working with a couple clients that want to get in the short-term rental space. So they turn to me and I'm working closely with a realtor who's my brother. So that works out pretty nice. We're currently searching everywhere. Obviously the market is really crazy. So we really got to dive into certain areas that could be great for short-term rental. We got to look at all the numbers and we got to think of options on that home when we do find things. What I do when I'm looking for a client, I like 3 different options, right? So my number 1 priority is to be able to buy a home that I can do short-term rental in, like on Airbnb. That's my number 1 goal. But I always like to have backup plans. So if the short-term rental isn't making enough money when I jump into it, etc., then I want an option to go long-term. So I want to run the numbers on long-term, and I want to run the numbers on short-term. And then worst case scenario, or even a great case scenario, because the market right now is through the roof, but I want a home that can add enough value, repairs, add a kitchen, bathroom, whatever I can do to spice up the home. So if I need to, I can sell it. So I really want to show you guys how I personally find a home. So I have a couple of homes right now that I'm working on, and I'm going to bring those up and I'm going to show you. But let's just start from the very beginning. First, you want to find an area that you like. Maybe it's a place that you want to travel to, a couple times a year with you and your friends or your family, etc. So I would start looking there. Or you want to find a place that is near you. Maybe it's only an hour away from you. Maybe it's 2 hours away from you. Something you can get to pretty quickly. All right, great. So once you find your location, then I think the best next move is to get on your city council and find out what the regulations are. You can go on Airbnb and type it in. You can go to your city council and call them, etc. But you really want to find out, are they pro short-term rentals? Are they anti-short-term rentals? Are the neighbors, okay with it? Are the neighbors not okay with it? Try to do as much research as you possibly can on what that market is all about and what they like. Then what I like to do is I like to get on Airbnb as a traveler. So I got my city. I know exactly what I'm looking for. Let's say I'm looking for a 3-bedroom house with a 2-bath and a pool. So I want to get on Airbnb and look for a 3-bedroom house, 2-bath, and a pool. And then I want to go through all those reviews, see how much money they're making. I want to check out their calendar. So we're going to dive into all of that. Then one of the most important things, you guys, after all that, is you really do want to run the numbers. Numbers are crucial when it comes to buying a house, but I can't stress it enough. You don't want to keep running numbers to the point where your brain goes out of control. Because trust me, you can go down this rabbit hole where you're like, how much is this going to cost? How much is that going to cost? At one point, you kind of have to listen to your gut and just go for it and take a risk. If anything, you're going to learn a lot. And if you're doing short-term rentals, it kind of comes on you. So you got to do the work. You got to put in the work really hard to make sure that rental is going to make you money. Worst case scenario, you sell the house, right? This is not any legal advice, by the way. This is just my strategy. So do whatever you're comfortable with doing, but I like taking a little bit of a risk. So really quick, the way I like to run the numbers is I like to jump on AirDNA first. It's a great website. Let's dive into that. And basically you can put in the address, you can put in the specs, and they'll give you a rough idea of what kind of profit you can make on that house. For my experience, I feel AirDNA tends to be about 10 to 15% low, but I think that's great. I think you don't want to overestimate how much money you think you can make. I always like to underplay it by 20%. If I can make that much money, is it worth it investing? Could I improve it over the years? Could I generate more profit, right? Also, another website I dive into is called the Bigger Pockets. They have an amazing podcast, tons of information on here. But they have a couple spreadsheets on here that you can really type in all your numbers. You can type in what you paid for the house, what you think the remodeling is going to be, all your utilities, taxes, your management fee, etc. And then that way you can really see if it makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and dive into all of these best practices and kind of show you how I do it. Okay, so I'm currently working with a client right now that is looking to buy an investment property for Airbnb in mind in Fountain Hills, Arizona. So I came on Zillow and I pulled up the property. So this is it. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500 square feet. So first, I just like to dive into the photos real quick. Obviously, this could use some updating, some fresh paint. It looks like it has good bones, a good layout, etc. Next step is I want to really dive into those numbers. So basically the way I do it is I go ahead and copy this address. Then I go over to airdna.com. There's a free tool on AirDNA. Then you just basically you put in the address. I like to say 2 guests per room. So 2468, right? All right, so let's put in 8 here. And then what I like about this is you can put in the purchase price. So let's just say it was for what we got it for what we paid for it, right? So then you put in the purchase price right here. And that gives you a cap rate of 8.2. Not bad. Not bad at all. I always like to go 9, 10, 11 if I can. That'd be amazing. So right here you can see the revenue is about $53,171 annually. The average nightly rent is $314 and occupancy rate is 46%. So not too bad. Not having a pool. Maybe if you added a jacuzzi, added a few other great amenities. So basically when I first look at this and I'm ready to write an offer knowing I'm going to do Airbnb. So let's just keep that in mind. I like this place. I'm helping a client. Let's go ahead and write an offer. I will look at, can I increase this? Can I increase, to 55% or 60%? And then over time, do I think I can increase this nightly rent? Okay, so once I got some rough numbers, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm gonna go ahead and see what my competition is. So I wanna go and look around. So what I always recommend is jumping on Airbnb as a traveler. So let's go into here. This is where you would search. Let's just say you're flexible, looking in Fountain Hills. I don't really care the date. Okay, so now we got Fountain Hills up. Let's hit more filters. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to narrow it down for my competition. I'm trying to search as close as I can to that neighborhood and the type of home that I'm looking to purchase. So I know I'm going to end up being a superhost. So let's just go ahead and look at superhost. I'm looking, it's a house. And then I want to look at the room. So I said it was a 3-bedroom. Then I want to type in the bedroom. So 3 bedrooms and 2-bath. So now I'm pretty close to my area and what things are ranked for. Then you can go ahead over here on the map and you can see there's one for almost $1,000 a night. To me, that's encouraging. Here's another one for $500. Wow, that's crazy. Here's one for $2,200. I think maybe I should be looking in this market. This is nuts. There's one for, $500. So I think AirDNA said it was right around $300. So let's go ahead and look at $250 first. So basically what I do, and this is how I go through my process. I go to the AirDNA, I look at the photos, kind of look through what these people are doing, what kind of value can I add. All right, not bad, not bad. Then I want to look at the calendar. So I say they're charging $250 a night. Okay, either they're completely booked, which would be awesome, or they're just not taking any reservations. So it looks like they're booked completely. Wow. August, September, almost all the way to October. So that would be cool. So let's go ahead and look at a few others and see if they're like that. Let's look at this one, $195. This one has a pool. Okay, so there's a handful of dates open. They still got a pretty good calendar. That's a good sign. Maybe I want to think about investing into a pool. Let's go ahead and look at one more. Here's one for $380. All these have pools. A lot of them have pools, so my price is going to have to come lower than all these people. Also, what I like to do, you guys, is I look to read over this, see what they're saying, see if I can pull some information that might help me in my listing. Then I want to go over here and look at the reviews. So if you ask me, a 4.8
it's okay. It's not too bad. They do have a good amount of reviews, 57. Wow, 4.7 on cleaning. So I know I can do better on cleaning. And then I'll just go in here and look at some of the reviews, read what people are saying. All right. So let's say I like it. I like what people are saying. I feel like I can add a lot of value to that property. Then I'll show you guys real quick. I won't go into every single number because that could be a very long video. But then you guys, then I go here, I go to biggerpockets.com. I'm a member, so I type in the tools and it gives me rental property. Let's go ahead and start a new report. So let's go ahead and copy the address. Let's say 430. Let's just say closing costs is 2,000. That's probably pretty close. Yeah, we're gonna be doing some rehab. The ARV is after repair value. So after you put in a bunch of work on the house, what do you think that property is gonna appraise for? Basically what that means. So let's say 430, the market's pretty on fire. I clean this place up. Let's be conservative and say 460. But I'm not really gonna put tons of money into this property. Doesn't need much. It just needs some landscaping and some paint, I think. So I don't know. Let's just say 20,000. And then, you guys, I'm just running this really, really quick just to give me like a rough ballpark. This is actually how I do it. I kind of just go really quick. And then if I really like it and I'm going to write an offer on the place, then I'll dive into it a lot more. So my interest rate, let's say good credit, 4.3. I'm going to do 30 years. So it's 53,000 a year. Let's say I put in 4,500 a month. Well, it's giving me it's giving me a suggestion of 2,740. Let's go ahead and say I can do better than that. Let's say 3,500 a month. Now this is where you put in your taxes. You can go and look at your taxes. I just know my insurance offhand is about $1,800. Repairs and maintenance, let's say 2%. Let's say vacancies, 3%. I don't really put anything right here too much. I'm gonna do a bunch of repairs. I'm not really too worried about that. Management fee, it depends. Are you gonna manage it yourself or are you gonna hire a property management to do it for you? This can go anywhere, as a co-host is about 10%. And then if they're managing it full time, it can go 20, 22, up to 30%. So let's just say they're going to hire me to manage a property and I'm going to do it for 22%. Let's say the electric bill is going to be $200 a month in the summertime. Say gas is 50. I don't know, 50. I'm just typing in rough numbers. There is no HOA. Let's say I got to pay a garbage company to pick up the trash, etc. And other could be whatever, internet, cable, etc., all that stuff. All right, so now that I have it all my numbers, I didn't put a photo in real quick, but you can add a photo. All right, so monthly cash flow is $190 a month. My cap rate is 2.0, so that's horrible. This is not a great investment property for this scenario. But let's say I can bring in $4,500 a month. So let's go back here. This is how you can adjust it. So $4,500, so that would be my goal. Let's say I can bring in at least 45, let's say keep it 4,200. So 4,200, that's not too bad. It gives me a cap rate of 7.8. Pays all my expenses. I'm cash flowing $705 a month. All right, this is where your mortgage, you can see your mortgage breakdown right here, or you're paying cash. All right, let's go ahead and save this. And what's great is you can share this with your client.
All right, guys, to wrap that up, I do appreciate it. Hopefully that kind of helps you get started, right? Don't let everything scare you. Just start jumping into it. Start searching around for some properties. Run the numbers, go with your gut, do something that makes you happy, and all the other stuff will come in. Like I said, when I started, I had zero clue what I was doing. I kind of just went for it. And now that I'm helping more clients invest into short-term rentals and myself, I think this is a great starting point to dive into it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to write some questions in the comments. I'll do my best to get back to you, but you gotta subscribe. Hit the subscribe, like, and I'll see you next Tuesday.